the basic qualities are the qualities of any good politician. Let's say, first of all, be intelligent, because if you are stupid, you know. But this is given for granted. Second is, and this is important, be a team leader. You have commissioners coming from different countries. You have people who, well, sometimes different intellectual roots, and you have to make a team in a short period of time, because at the beginning you are judged by that, you know, and so it's not easy to do it, you know, even more, you have to step by step oblige the Commission to the European priority. Let's say the Commission, they must not forget, but put in the second place their past history. And, you know, I am proud that many of my colleagues, they came to Brussels as an idea of Europe, okay, well, but not so important. And then, in the end of the 5-year period, they were fighters, you know, for Europe. You know, I think that this, because even more now, we need enthusiasm. Human factor is the preconditions. Of course, you have to help human factors, giving clear mandates. You know, especially when you have to multiply the number of commissioners, you always have border fightings. But this is, I repeat, a precondition. In my experience, you have also to count on a strong organization and the link between what we call bureaucracy and your team. And this is totally dependent from the situation of the moment. When I arrived after the crisis of the Santer Commission, it was just, you know, a music for all European media to say the huge, big bureaucracy, inefficient, costly bureaucracy. So I was obliged to give a priority to the reform of the Commission, and it was important to do it, but to give more emphasis that was even necessary for the real situation, because the European bureaucracy is 1/3 or 1/4 of the bureaucracy of the big European countries, capitals. You know, so it's not huge; it's small. But in spite of that, you had to do this effort. In other situations, you can work with your team and then to concentrate more on the job of the political choices. Well, Mitterrand and Kohl, clearly, because they were a nice mix. I worked with them very well, you know. Nice mix. They were defending the national interests, but they were deeply thinking that the defense of national interest in the long term, for the real future of their country, was linked to Europe. I never asked to leaders to be anti their national interest, you know, but to understand what is a short-term interest and the real long-term strategy. And Mitterrand and Kohl, they were, look, the typical example of thinking national and thinking European, you know. And it's difficult to find this mixture. Delors is different, you know. Delors, for me, was the example of a president, you know. Let's say in which it was balancing the different national interests, but clearly telling the steps necessary for the future of Europe. And what I am really sorry that it was first so difficult to defend and to, let's say, go on in this idea, as I try to do with the enlargement, with the implementation of the euro, but then understanding that you were playing only on defense, you know, and so it's it is very sad when you feel that 0-0 is the best result that you can get. You know, it's so I tried many times to be inspired by Delors. Let's say I repeat with the enlargement, to do it quick, to give the idea that the Europe could solve the tragedies of history, the Iron Curtain, a common currency that was, of course, started and built by Delors, just to implement and to give the idea that you know, it was a common, let's say, asset for everybody. So this is why I do hope that if you can remind that, you know, we may have a European recovery. Well, it is more difficult now, in the sense that, you know, I divide the mood in two historical periods. Before the referendum against the Constitution, and after that, you know. Before, and I had my commission split on that, you know. Before, the stops and go, they were incidents, but you understood that there was a common feel that, you know, you could be obliged to stop for a while, but then history could have started again to go on, you know. And then clearly you don't like to be defeated sometimes, but then you say, look, tomorrow will be better. After that is a retreat, you know. It's the idea is that the European project is a dream, that you know, the first issue of the government is the internal policy, that the populists are something that cannot be arrested advancing, but only going back. So it's this is why to reverse this feeling is objectively difficult.